Podcast is intended for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
You need that fear.
All I'm trying to do is make a stand for something that I truly believe is right. I truly believe is right. I'm the face of boxing. I'm the cash cow. I hold the record. My job, I know my job, I know my situation. I want to
Massive production.
But it's gonna be with it.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
Yo. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of The Boxing Voice. I do have a very, very special guest on the line with me today. He is the 2018 Contender winner. Put on a very, very impressive performance in the championship against Shane Mosley Jr. And his name has been buzzing around this boxing world for the last couple of days, so I figure we'll get him on. Brandon Adams, how's it going, sir?
Man, everything is going good. I can't complain, man. The ball is in my court.
Absolutely. Before we get to that, man, let's go ahead and take a little trip down memory lane. The Contender Series, man, you put on a dominant performance in that championship, man. Just walk me through your mindset going into the championship fight and your drive to like just put on that incredible performance.
What pushed me was the 3 years that I had off. The 3 years that I had off, man. It made me, raise questions and eyebrow at myself, trying to figure out, what am I doing here? And, basically to learn to be more patient with myself and seize opportunities. That's mainly what I got from the layoff and then getting on to the Contender and then fighting amongst, the likes of everybody that house that I stayed in between the other 15 combatants.
Absolutely. Now going into the championship, man, did you expect to be that dominant?
Well, I don't know if you've seen in the beginning of the TV show, man, the Contender, when me and Shane were cool, and Dazn, he immediately didn't take a liking into our friendship, our bond, and he did everything in his power to break that up. There was a lot of stuff that was shown on and camera, but it was a lot. It was a whole lot more that wasn't shown to the viewers that I wish was to actually show what we deal with. But, it was kept away. And Dazn thought, he didn't think much of me. At least that's what he wanted me to believe. I don't know exactly how he felt. But, he thought that, once when it came for me to fight, it wouldn't be an opportunity. Somebody was just going to blow past me, which it being Tyrone first. And then, he swore on his bottom dollar that Keytroff was going to run me through. That didn't happen. And then he got an opportunity of working with me, at least for just that fight, because he and I didn't actually work together, none, because of, the friction that we had. So, the opportunity he had was working with me while we was in the corner. Now, leading into the final fight, him having his pride and joy in Shane Jr., he believed that, there was absolutely no way that I was going to be able to beat him, especially at the extent that I did. And that was just my goal. It wasn't to, knock out Shane or anything. I wanted to prove to Dazn, no matter what he had against me, he wasn't going to prosper. He wasn't going to beat me because, for one, I believed in me, my skills, and two, I just knew what I was capable of doing, and I just wanted to show that not so much to the world as much as I wanted to show it to Dazn, to be honest.
Do you think Dazn was just being that way because he may have seen you as the biggest threat in the competition?
To be honest, I don't think so. I think everybody took me extremely lightly, except the people who knew me personally upon the show. Everybody seen, it's part of my boxing history. It's all over the internet. I lost to one of the combatants upon the show. in John Thompson, you know, and John beat me, but everybody knows that leading up to that fight, literally, I only trained 2 to 3 days to prepare for that fight, to make weight, lost 14 pounds and fought him. And I lost. I lost because I tried to go, go all out. I tried to go completely all out and give it all I had, because I knew I wasn't in shape to actually fight that fight, because it was a whole bunch of, things that was taking place outside of the fight. Business wise, as far as the old promotion and management I was working with, and then even if you rewind that back, I lost the fight towards Willie Monroe, and that was just a lot of inexperience right there. The fact that I only had 6 amateur fights, the fact that he was the actual legit first left-hand fighter that I've ever fought in throughout my whole boxing career. So it was a lot of first times. From fighting Willie Monroe, and then going into John Thompson, I was going through a legal dispute. So I'm sure people not knowing that, what they attached to it was, oh man, he know how to lose, and he's not disciplined, he's this, he's that. I kind of hear a lot of it, but as you can see, it didn't really faze me. It just kind of put a fire in my soul, and made me push harder and accomplish what I wanted to reach out for.
Coming off the success of the Contender, are you getting a little bit more like, hey, how you doing? A little bit more waves at you and stuff like that?
Yeah, honestly, it was shocking because, I didn't know who all had epics. I didn't know who was all going to be watching the show. But a lot of people recognize exactly who I am after I start smiling. Some people recognize me once they see me dancing and joking around, but for the most part, people don't attach me with being on the Contender until I start smiling, laughing, enjoying myself, basically. They're like, yo, hey, wait a second. You're Brandon Adams, which is funny. I appreciate that, because a lot of times coming up, I was always told that I favored Floyd Mayweather. People always want to crack the wise joke saying that I favor him. And, I get it, but I'm more excited at the fact that people recognize me for who I am now.
Absolutely. Now, one final question about the Contender. The finals was in LA. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, it was in LA at the Forum.
How important was that, man, winning in your hometown, big dog?
Man, it was exciting. It definitely put something in my, in my mind and heart, it made me want to do it again. It made me want to repeat that, to fight in front of a hometown, to know that I'm fighting in my backyard. It feels extremely good, but I want to, reach new goals and new heights, and be able to, feel like wherever I'm fighting is my backyard, because everybody's like really feeling me like that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, based off our last conversation, I do believe that you're still in a promotional deal, right?
Yes.
Now, with that being said, has anybody reached out like to co-promote, or has any network reached out to like try to get you on their network roster?
You know what? A lot of it is hearsay. I heard, it was some guys from across the pond who was interested in working with me. I hear Dazn was, or Dazn, however you pronounce it, they're interested. But a lot of that, like, honestly, I mean, I stay close enough to hear it, but not close enough to actually know the conversation. So, I just try to stay, keep my nose in the dirt and keep working, keep searching on how to become a better me. And let all that stuff, once time comes and they need to evaluate anything before they want to push a lot harder, I'm sure they know exactly how to find me.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, well, let's go ahead and get into it. Your name been associated with Triple G and Jermall Charlo. Have those fakes come across your desk?
Yeah, they have. And it's crazy because actually it was thrown out there a whole lot quicker than it was actually offered towards me. I don't know how the sources got it. Sources was dead on. Don't get me wrong. Sources was completely dead on. But for instance, the Triple G fight, I think people found out about it last week. If I'm not mistaken, it was like around Thursday or Friday. It was hit up on me Friday night. I was asked, like, yo, hey, man, would you be interested in fighting Triple G? And I was like, man, if he was looking my way, if the opportunity came, heck yeah, I'd be interested in fighting him. And
so
then
that's
I
the
also,
opportunity you wouldn't pass up.
Well, it's Triple G. This dude is internationally, you know, he's one of the big guys. He's the titan. He's a titan in this sport. You know, he's you know, right now he's one of the mystical beasts. You got Triple G, you got Canelo, you got, you know, Anthony Joshua, you got Deontay Wilder, you got names, you know, and these guys are some of the headlining names right now. So when they asked if I would fight Triple G, because like legit, this is how it was asked towards me. Like, would you fight Triple G if he was actually interested in fighting you? And I was like, yeah. See, because the old me, I sparred Triple G before when I was much younger. You know, I was a very inexperienced pup. I went up to Big Bear for the first time in my life and was barely breathing. You know, I was suffocating just being up there. And I sparred him. And I was a part of this camp for a little while, probably for like 2 weeks. And it was leading up to the end of his, basically the last week they took off. And, you know, they told us, you know, thank you for the work. They paid us well. And they sent us all up on our way. But
so fighting Triple G wouldn't be a problem because you already sparred him and you already felt the power. And from the way you're talking, it's nothing that you can't deal with.
Well, okay, look, Triple G is extremely strong, and he was hitting me extremely hard back when. It's been so long, and I ain't gonna lie, I've never been hit like how I've been hit by Triple G ever in a real fight, in sparring, whatever. No, and I mess around and spar with heavier guys and everything. I've never felt that same kind of pop, and I've been looking for it. I'm not gonna lie, I've been looking, I've been searching. I haven't been getting hit by people, you know, like just purposely not, you know, defending myself, but at the same time, I've been, you know, itching to see if there's other fighters out there in the world who's cracking like this brother. I've always held a chip on my shoulder because when we were sparring, regardless of how good I want to ever try to make it sound, or, you know, if they was to ever go on the airwaves and ever say anything, when he and I sparred, I didn't know how many minutes was on. It was, we were sparring 4-minute rounds, and I didn't know this. And I was very inexperienced when we were sparring. So while we were sparring, it was a moment while we were sparring, literally, I pulled away from him and I said, damn, how long is this round? And he stopped and Abel stopped, and they kind of like, he just chuckled. He chuckled. Abel was like, oh yeah, man, it's 4-minute rounds. But I was like, damn, when was you going to tell me this? You know, so like, when we were sparring, it was never like pure, just straight hard work. Although, you know, he only knows one way of working. Like, where it was a lot of times when we were sparring, like he'd stop, want to give me, you know, props for me cracking him. But, you know, a lot of more times it was him, you know what I'm saying, teaching me. And I won't sugarcoat that. You know, when it came to us sparring, when we were both coming up, well, when I was up there sparring with him, he got the better of me. I was novice, but what that did was it always put in the back of my mind, and it gave me a chip on my shoulder to always want to prove to myself and also to him and Abel that I'm way better now. You know, I've had, you know, some upcomings and some shortcomings, and, you know, the end result was what you guys seen on the Contender, and I believe a lot in my abilities now and in my capabilities. So I wanted to show him, you know, what I was capable of, and I feel and believed, you know, that I'm definitely what was needed to beat this titan, if you will.
So
in this boxing world.
What would drive you more getting back in the ring with Triple G? Him being the fact that he's like one of those, as you say, mythical beasts, or the fact that you just want to prove, like, hey man, you might got the best of me last time, but shit change. You know what I'm saying? Stuff change.
Yeah, it's both. It's both. I mean, like I'm sure people probably think, you know, this idea is crazy, but it's both for me. Like I said, it's to prove to myself that I belong. I believe that I should be, you know, as long as I keep working the way I'm working and I stay at the pace that I'm going, then, you know, my work will speak for itself, and I deserve to be known as one of the top fighters in this era. You know, and if, you know, and if the world say, you know, otherwise, and say that I belong to be an all-time great, that's fine. But, you know, just for myself, I will never put myself up towards or against a legend, you know, nor the future. Just right now, I want to fight Triple G because, you know, well, you know, I'd be very interested in getting in the ring with him because of those, you know, it'd be a feat for me. Like I said, you know, he never, you know, beat my ass per se, like, you know, excuse my French, but I'd never sit there and allow him to. I wasn't no fool. I start moving around. He get the cracking, I get the cracking back, throwing feints and moving. But, you know, at the end of the day, every time we finish sparring, I'd look at him, he look at me, we both smile. And I say to myself, damn, he got the better of me this time. There's probably once or twice where I felt like, you know, real good about myself sparring out of maybe like the 7 times we sparred or whatever, 7 to 8, but still, he knew who he was, and I was searching for who I was at the time. I didn't know what I was capable of doing. I was extremely still young in the sport, looking to learn and trying to pave my way. And he already, you know, he already was Triple G at this time, because by the time when we sparred, he had to, if I'm not mistaken, this was like his 26th fight. And they told me he was fighting a guy that was 5'11". And I'm everything but, you know what I'm saying, 5'11". I'm 5'8". But, you know, I appreciate the opportunity for them to call me up and to allow me to spar with him, because even at the time, I'm sure they could have been like, hey, man, you too little. You know, we're looking for a guy who's going to be this, who's going to be that. And, you know, they gave me the opportunity of sparring with him. And I had a chance to see what it's like to be in a ring with a champion. And then on top of that, him being who he is, me finding out who he is, and then turning around today.
Now, being that boxing is a business and Triple G has just signed with Dazn, how important is it to get a, let's just say you fight Triple G, how important is it to get a network deal with Dazn going into that fight?
You know, I'm not too sure. I mean, of course, it'd be extremely important, but I'm not too sure because, and again, I don't know exactly how they're working their business, but I know they're taking care of their top guys.
You out here seeing the 45 million that reportedly Triple G got. You heard about the 120 million offer.
This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. So I don't know how they like doing their business directly. I mean, like how they would work with somebody like me who's like more so on the upcoming. You know, if they was to offer great numbers, then of course I would want to work with them. But because they might feel, hey, Brandon, you haven't paid your wages yet. You know what I'm saying? Triple G, Canelo, you know, some of these guys, you know what I'm saying? You can go look. You can go find them up on YouTube. You can go see their body of work. You, on the other hand, you're on your way up and coming. So we'll give you this. And you know, I'll probably feel like, damn, dude, that's extremely low compared to what these guys was capable of. And I beat, you know, Triple G. I'm just saying, like, if that was the case, like after the fight or whatever, or, you know, if I would definitely have to see what they was offering me. I know firsthand. I know Triple G and all these other guys, like I just said, they put in their work. They've been at the top of the mountain, and I'm trying to reach where they're trying to reach. I mean, where they've already been. So I wouldn't expect for them to come at me with no crazy numbers like that. But at the same time, I would definitely want to see how they play out working with somebody like me, if that makes sense to you.
Absolutely, does. I definitely see what you're saying. You just the pedigree and pretty much the body of work. You feel like Dazn may or may not want to work with you. But I feel like coming off of the contender, you got a little cachet about yourself and could finagle that into a network deal. That's just my humble opinion. But
yeah, no, most definitely though. I hear you.
Another name that you were associated with is Jermall Charlo, and I was kind of thoroughly excited when I heard you and his name mentioned together. What are your thoughts?
What?
Yeah, I was. I mean, coming off the contender, 160, a guy who has some buzz about him, and a guy who, and Jermall Charlo, we all think is the goods, but he did look a little vulnerable in his last fight.
Yeah, man, being left up with the actual champ, that's amazing in itself, man. Like I said, dude, I appreciated both of those parties, you know what I'm saying, reaching out to me, asking me if I would like to, you know what I'm saying, engage with these guys. I'm extremely grateful for it. But, you know, just because Charlo looked like he had wrinkles in his last fight, you know, doesn't mean he's actually, you know, that he won't try to come out and do what he's supposed to be doing this upcoming next fight. So I decided to choose it being, you know, him focusing all that energy towards me. But I like the fight. He and I, if I'm not mistaken, around the same age. Not saying age really play a part or whatever. But just the fact that, you know, I know he's still hungry. He's a hungry guy. Him and his brother, I watched both of them fight. I like watching them fight. I think they're exciting. You know, I see how they work, you know, and I believe, you know what I'm saying, that they're very passionate about the sport. From what I see when they do fight and everything, you know, they're very passionate about their body of work. So, you know, I'm looking forward to, you know, seeing, you know, what's going on from that avenue as well, you know. So, and I'm put up against, you know, do I go after the Titan, you know, this mythical beast in the sport of boxing and Triple G, this international sensation, or do I actually go after the world champion? You know, eventually I feel like, you know, one's going to come after the other either way, even though, you know, it's funny because we were just getting back involved with fighting at 54. It was crazy because we had a few names that we were looking at fighting at 54. And my team was reaching out to their teams and they was getting back and we were about to make something happen. And next thing you know, they was like, yo, hold the plug, hold the phone. We got this going on. So then I seen on the internet, people was like, yo, is this true? Tell me about the Triple G fight after I said, yo, it'd be nice. And then 2 days later, I found out that Charlo and his team was offering me a fight as well. So I just was like, you know, it was definitely humbling. I just didn't know, you know what I'm saying, which angle to even look at. I was like, damn, well, you know, is it because of, you know, because like I said, I heard the Triple G fight was, it happened, you know, well, them offering me the fight, excuse me, was way before the Canelo, Charlo. So I was like, wow, did they offer this because of they heard about Triple G fight, or, you know, whatever the case was. Like I said, man, I'm just happy for the opportunity, and I feel, you know, I believe either, you know, position that I put myself in, or, you know, if these guys accept what, you know, what we bring to the table as well, is whichever so God that it be, man. I believe in me.
What names were mentioned at 154?
Well, we were looking at Jesse Vargas' names popped up, and it kept popping up because I guess, you know, it's a couple of guys from the gym that I train out of who knows him, who's a part of, you know, their team. And plus, you know, me working with Freddie Roach from time to time, you know, me collabing trainers, my head trainer, Dub Huntley, and Freddie Roach, and Freddie Roach being his trainer. They was talking about that, him fighting at 54. I didn't know anything about it, but then they kept talking to me about it. I said, well, if he's interested, of course I'd be. They said about Liam Smith, fighting him over, you know, in England. They was trying to get me to fight Jaime Mogina, however you say that brother name. I don't want to hack it. Yeah. So we were reaching out to a few other heads actually too, trying to see if we could make something happen because, you know, like I said, I was going back to fight the 54, and then it was like, wait, before you do, look at these big names. Look at this guy. He wants to fight you. And like after 2 days later, they was like, no, Charlo wants to fight you too. So, you know, this is what's in front of you.
I was always of the mindset that being on the Contender, making 160 was like fairly now I don't want to say easy, but fairly realistic because of the short days in between fights. So, do you feel like you're a better fighter at 154?
All right, so me fighting at 160, it was just more so of me not really having to try to make weight at all. Fighting at 154, I have to work towards it. Now I know I'm really working towards something. Not saying that at 160, I'm not working as hard as when I'm putting in the work at 154, but I got like some old school trainers and everything, man. So, you know, that like my trainer in the gym that I come out of, Broadway Boxing Gym, like the mindset is, you know, you work real hard, you come down in weight, you know, it's a certain way you're supposed to feel versus when I fight at 160, man, I'm telling you, it don't feel like I'm not making weight at all. Like versus me fighting at 154. At 160, my stomach's full. Like as crazy as it may sound, I feel uncomfortable because I feel too comfortable. If that makes sense.
Gotcha. Now, looking at the Triple G and Charlo matchup, which matchup stylistically presents the bigger challenge to you?
You know what? From what I see in both of these guys, Triple G is who he is. The dude is you know, he's strong. He got a lot of IQ. He shows it when he fights. Dude is smart, and I believe he got good timing. People don't like to say it, but or might not, you know, bring it up all the time. But I think what he has going for him is the fact that he's very experienced and he has great timing. He has good timing. In the Charlo, he's athletic, he's fast, he's lengthy, and he's strong too. Maybe, you know, they don't compare or they try to compare the punching power between the Charlo and Triple G. But I think Charlo's strong because he's athletic. So he's got, like, you know, the quick pop punch. And then Triple G is just that thud punch. When I'm thinking of, you know, putting myself in the ring with the likes of either of these guys, I've been fighting taller guys my whole life. And so that's kind of not so much as an issue to me. You know, you got to figure out how to get over it. You being short your whole life, fighting taller guys. And Triple G, I know his feet ain't as fast as Charlo. So I'm not sure. I mean, I think they're both in the position that they're in because of, you know, because their capabilities. That's a tough one for me to answer, man, because I mean, I don't want to sound all wordy, but when you look at their, you know, their pros and cons and comparing myself being in the ring with the likes of both of them and everything, I mean, I can kind of almost go on forever without trying not to. I feel like, you know, Triple G will have to, in my opinion, he's going to have to catch me. He's going to have to find me. And the Charlo brother as well, you know, him being taller, nobody likes to fight against a guy who's short and he knows he's short, you know? But that's the difference in me and everybody else that's within this division. Yeah, I'm smaller, but I know that I'm smaller, and I won't try to be big like the rest of you know, everybody else in this division. What I got going for me is everybody said is the fact that I'm very athletic. I don't mind getting real low. That same stuff that people see Mike Tyson do, I find that stuff fun. It's all a challenge to me. When you watch me fight, you will see me do it. You know, I make moves people not used to seeing every day, and that's fine with me because, you know, that just means I'm more of a Rubik's Cube than any of the other fighters. And I don't want you to figure me out. By the time you figure me out, the fight's over, hopefully, you know. So
Totally,
I think, you know, yeah, well, I think what I have going for me, man, is as far as giving both those guys problems and versus them giving me problems, I just believe at heart that maybe the Charlo brother will be a more of a competitive fight Not saying that Triple G's fight won't be competitive. See, so I'm trying to find the right words to say, but you know, Triple G is gonna have to. He's gonna have to, you know, find me. And by the time when he does find me, you know, he's got to deal with me being extremely low, getting lower than any of the other fighters he's dealt with. And then, you know, the fact that I won't stop. You know, I keep moving. I'm very energetic still. So, you know, I don't know, man. I'm thinking possibly Triple G, but then at the same time, he's who he is. And ain't no telling. I know it's a game plan that we, you know, that we construct going into fights. It's a game plan mentally that, you know, us as fighters that we hold on to personally, even though the trainers are saying something else as well, you know. So ain't no telling, man. I might have a flashback and want to fight Triple G a little bit, just a slight, you know, just a tiny bit in the middle of the ring. But I don't know, man.
Speaking on the rest of the division, there's a big fight coming up on May 4th, Cinco de Mayo, Canelo and Danny Jacobs. How do you see that fight going?
Man, it all to me. I'm a huge fan of Canelo, but I'm also a real big fan of Danny Jacobs. He was actually one of the first professional fighters that I started watching on TV. Him and Sean Porter. To me, it depends on what Danny Jacobs is coming to the fight. If Danny Jacobs is literally sticking to boxing, I think, me personally, it might not be exciting for everybody to watch. But that Danny Jacobs is going to win. If he just box, he just touch, and he moved the way I envision him to do, he's going to win. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be an easy fight, you know, because, you know, Canelo's smart. Canelo's been doing this his whole life as well. But I believe that, you know, the range that Danny Jacobs have, and the fact that, you know, Canelo's last few fights, you know, his movement ain't been the same. Yeah, he moves his upper body real well, but his legs, you know, they don't move so well. Then he keep wearing these knee braces, man. He out here looking like Stone Cold Steve Austin at the knees, man. I'm just saying, man. I got love for the brother.
A lot of people,
damn, you know what I'm saying?
You see
the same thing I see.
A lot of people are saying that. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting kind of worried. Like, what's really going on? Like, I haven't really gave it too much thought, but a lot of people have said that.
Man. I'm out here in Cali. You know what I'm saying? I'm out here in Southern Cal. You know, so when people start talking about certain fighters, I'm not here to air out nobody. But when I hear certain things, I go, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I don't stay so close to where I'm listening to the conversations, but I'm close enough to hear what's going on. So I'm like, I don't know. If Danny do what he's supposed to do, you know what I'm saying? Don't be surprised if you hear, and the new.
Oh, okay. What were your thoughts on the Mikey Garcia and Errol Spence fight a couple weekends ago?
Man, I like Mikey, but I'm a huge fan of Spence, and I thought, you know, Mikey's a good fighter, but and he's good for getting good fights, you know, tough fights. But that fight, man, he shouldn't have took. He had no business in the ring with Errol Spence. Errol did exactly what he came out to do, man. He didn't get the knockout, but he beat him up every round. It didn't, like, in my opinion, he didn't have to knock him out. He did what he was supposed to do. He did what I thought he was going to do. Mikey Garcia showed that, like he said, he was a lot tougher and gamer. But now we have to deal with the fact that, you know, we don't know how much did that affect Mikey Garcia. Hopefully it didn't, and the rest of his career is prosperous, and he give the fans, you know, more entertaining fights, and he proved that, you know, at a smarter way that won't be so one-sided. But man, him fighting Errol Spence, I thought it was ludicrous. I thought it was crazy before he did it, you know. And I get it. You know, some people feel, you know, it's okay to do it, but you got to pay attention to who you're trying to get in there with when they, you know, 1 or 2 weight classes heavier than you. You've seen Canelo do it when he fought Fields, but, you know, Canelo didn't go up there and he didn't try to call out, you know, one of them dudes at 68 who was just like, you know, out this world. Or what weight was that? It was 68 that he fought?
Yeah, 168.
Yeah, see, he didn't go at to 68 and call out Benavidez or something. You know, like one of them huge guys who could really do something. It was Fields. You know, and everybody was trying to figure out who Fields was, and about time everybody thought everybody thought, you know, like, yo, man, I think I know who he is. The fight was over. Yeah, so
absolutely. Now does this doing like 48,000 seats in Dallas and I believe like over 400 now pay-per-views, does this make Errol Spence the money guy and the man to beat at 147?
Man, it could be. I think highly of him. I'm talking to my guy, my boy Sean Porter, man. He was saying that he's looking forward to that fight.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, you know, if it was anybody that's in the 147 division, we know Keith Thurman ain't just ready yet, man. He need a couple of more fights. See, it's funny because that layoff did me some justice, and I don't think it did brother Keith one time so well. You know what I'm saying?
But Keith is now talking about fighting Manny Pacquiao coming up.
Hey, everybody want to fight Pacquiao. If you want to be honest, I think Pacquiao is the real money guy right now. That's why everybody's like, hey, Pacquiao. I mean, you know, and again, dude, he paid his dues, man. He's the head honcho, man. So of course everybody want, you know, the golden ticket because that's who he is. But that fight, like Errol Spence fighting Pacquiao, I don't like that fight for Pacquiao. I think Errol's gonna do that, you know, like because he just Errol is a big 147 pounder. He is, man, and he's different for the sport. You
now
know,
we had a debate a couple of days ago. If Errol Spence can't get a fight at 147, he should do what Mikey did and Dare to Be Great and go up and fight Canelo at 160. Since Oscar De La Hoya has talked about it as recently as last week or the week before last, and Errol Spence has talked about it last year, saying that he wouldn't mind going up and fighting Canelo at 160.
Yeah, that's dope, man. At this point, shoot, man, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of the cruiserweights wouldn't try to fight Canelo if they knew what they could bring in. This fool would be cutting the leg off, you know?
Absolutely.
Dude, shoot, man, I bet you some of them featherweights would be at a buffet damn near every day trying to figure it out. But, you know, Canelo is real good for the sport, man. And if Errol Spence had the opportunity to do so, man, I think he would go for it. And he's definitely, well, the fact that he's southpaw, he's giving it a different angle, you know. That'd be an entertaining fight to watch. I think, you know, a lot of people didn't expect for Errol Spence to be as intelligent as he is in the ring, nor having the capabilities of, you know, moving in and out, because he's never really had to show it because the guys in front of him, you know, they pretty much do what he wants them to do without him having to put so much effort into showing off his skill. So Canelo, I think, you know, is wise enough to make him, you know, to make him figure out a different game plan, because Canelo will have the same thing going for him. And then, you know, the pressure of knowing you fighting the Canelo, I think that all of that stuff plays a part, and it could definitely help. You know, we've seen it happen and vice versa. Floyd Mayweather, AKA, you know, however they want to, you know, the quote unquote guy who don't punch hard. But when he fought everybody he touched them up. And every time he touched them, everybody gave the same exact reaction. Respect. You know, so, and also the pressure of fighting a Floyd Mayweather.
True.
They say he danced all around him, but why the hell do everybody in front of him look so tired? You know, it's pressure. It's a lot of stuff that the people don't take into aspect until it's time, you know, the night of the fight, and the lights are on you when you're not supposed to be thinking. You're supposed to just be an autopilot, per se.
All right. Now, I got a couple more questions for you. You know what I'm saying? I ain't going to keep you too much longer. Deontay Wilder reportedly turned down $100+ million contract with Dazn. Now, their stance was that they believe that the fight with Joshua is worth more than $100 million by itself because they want to do it on pay-per-view. What was your reaction to that news?
Man, my reaction now, because I never knew about this.
Oh, wow.
My reaction now is you know what I'm saying, damn, they made it. They at the point to where they arguing, you know, they don't want to sign a contract for is that a one fight deal for over $100 million?
No,
or
it was I believe it was 3 or 4.
Man,
it was $20 million for Brazil, $40 million for Joshua in the first fight, then $40 million in the rematch, and I think they added on a last fight for $20 million.
Man, that sound like rich people problems to me, man. I ain't there yet. I can't, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to get the tip in the dip, dude. These brothers, that's wild. You know what I'm saying? For you to be able to turn down, again, that's a testimony to their work. But man, yeah. How do I feel about that? I'm not in position to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Whoa.
Let me get your reaction to Anthony Joshua and Big Baby Miller coming up on June 1st.
Man, Big Baby Miller, what he brings to the table, you know what I'm saying, besides cheeseburgers, as he say, is the fact that he's one of the biggest heavyweights he's one of the biggest boxers and one of the biggest heavyweights in history of boxing that's doing it the way he's doing it. And if I'm not mistaken, he like what, 6'3", 6'4" himself?
6'4", 6'5" About.
All right, see, yeah, he's a big boy, like they say, man. He's a giant too. Even if you was to take away the fact that he's 300 plus or 280 plus, he still, you know, he still towers over a lot of other heavyweights. So he got that going for him, and I feel like, you know, that's his momentum. That's what he does when he's in the ring. You know, he utilizes assets. And then, you know, Anthony Joshua being, you know, 6'7" or however tall he is, just a specimen, dude. The dude is, I mean, he's built. The dude built like a damn action figure, man. And I would like to think he punched like it. You see the way people's bodies move when he's throwing punches and they blocking and it's pushing them completely off balance. The dude is freakishly strong too, you know. Like he's been just chopping trees his whole life.
Absolutely.
Dude, man, that fight, I think it's gonna be super exciting. I don't think, like they both said, man, I don't think they're gonna be pushing for that fight to go past the 7 rounds that they said.
Wow.
Because, man, it's just like when you're that big. I mean, when you're that big in the ring, how much ring you think they gonna be using? I don't even see Anthony Joshua trying to, you know, be completely different from what he's been and trying to take a page out of Ali's book. That's not who he is. He's gonna move a little bit, but at the same time, I think he's gonna be like right within range for Miller to, you know, try to throw punches at him and vice versa. Because Miller can't be the guy who's trying to be twinkle toes in that fight. He twists an ankle, you know. So he's gonna be coming forward. That's the fight actually I'm looking forward to seeing. I haven't picked nobody because it's the heavyweight division. You'd be crazy to pick, you know. But the heavyweight fight that I'm very much looking forward to seeing, man, is definitely, dude, our own Deontay Wilder versus Anthony Joshua, man. That's the heavyweight fight that I'm very much looking forward to seeing.
Yeah, you and everybody else, man.
Yeah, right.
Seems like we gotta wait on it for a little bit longer. Now, look, we got this thing that we do at the Boxing Voice called Border Wars. You know what I'm saying? And I recently had a guy call in, you know what I'm saying, call me out and actually want me to get in the ring with him. You know what I'm saying? I'm from the inner city. You know, I mean, hey, we don't duck no phase over at the Boxing Voice. Hey, we judge people level of amateurism, and we match them accordingly. This guy has no experience. I have no experience. But the kicker is, I'm a paraplegic, and so is he. I need I need some advice, man. First time getting in the ring, first time putting on, well, not putting on gloves, but actually like putting on headgear and about to receive a punch. What can I expect? I got like I got almost 10 weeks to get ready.
You say you're paraplegic. This is the first time you're gonna get up in the ring and y'all gonna do your thing and box. Well, first and foremost, man, you gotta expect to get hit.
Okay.
Period. Point blank. You got to expect to get hit.
No, I was thinking about going swimming without getting wet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm saying. Yeah, I'm sure you weren't expecting that answer, but I would say, man, it's for me. It's all about locking in. It's all about locking in, man. Once you dialed in, you figured out what exactly you want. You know, and you and this guy, y'all made out the plans and y'all set towards the plans. Now y'all making the plans happen. It's just, for me, it's about how dialed in you are, man. Because I mean, everybody's failed before. I don't care who you are. Everybody has fallen and had to pick themselves back up. So how hard are you willing to fall, and how much pressure, basically would it take, for you to figure out if there's too much pressure to get up, or will you just stay down? I think, you being in the ring for your first time, being a paraplegic, even if, regardless of anything, the first time you being in the ring, you're going to question yourself. You're going to question, everything. The person in front of you, if it's a third person in the ring, you're going to question them if they're going to do their job, but at the end of the day, man, it's all upon you. So for me, I believe it's just about how dialed in you're going to be when you both of y'all start to, exchange leather.
Absolutely. Absolutely. With that being said, brother, I appreciate your time. If you got any social media that you want to give out, go ahead and give it out now.
Yeah, man. You can follow me on Brandon the Cannon Adams, Cannon Nation. That's my Instagram. Brandon the Cannon Adams is my Facebook. My YouTube is also Brandon the Cannon Adams. Man, hit me up. I'm always active. I reach back out. You hit me up. But until then, man, everybody, y'all have a blessed one, man. Y'all all take care. Thank you guys for your time. And yeah, I'm saying, look forward to the future to seeing a whole lot of me.
And when I smash this dude, bro, I'll make sure to send you the tape.
Thank you.
All right, man. Be easy.
All right.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Brandon the Cannon Adams. Big shout out to him, you know what I'm saying, for coming on the podcast, you know what I'm saying. I'll try to give y'all and get y'all as much answers as I could. He let you know what fight that he was favoring, and it seems like it's the Triple G fight, and you cannot blame him at that. And yeah, if you like what you're hearing, go ahead and smash that thumbs up button, and you guys can check us at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. We'll have a hot and fresh topic for you. And until then, peace out. Gross1911 on IG and Gross2312 on Twitter. Peace.